Story: Cinder Girl and Fateful Glass Slipper. Part 1. From Cinders to Dreams. Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Bella. She lived happily with her father in a warm and cozy house filled with love and laughter. Bella had everything a little girl could dream of: beautiful dresses, sparkling jewelry, and warm meals every day. One day, while walking through the town with her father, the scent of freshly baked bread drew them to a bakery. As her father reached for his coin pouch, Bella noticed a hungry beggar boy sitting alone nearby. She gently asked her father if they could buy an extra loaf for him. Her father smiled warmly, proud of his daughter's compassion. Not long after, he returned home with happy news. He had met a kind woman and planned to marry her. Bella congratulated him with genuine joy in her heart. A few days later, the wedding was held, and the new stepmother moved in with her 2 daughters, one tall and slim, the other short and plump. At first, they appeared friendly, but hidden behind their smiles was something colder. Soon after, Bella's father departed on a hunting trip and never came back. When the stepmother announced his passing, Bella's world fell silent.
From that moment on, everything changed. I tried to stay kind, to remember Papa's warmth, but my stepmother grew crueler with each passing day. Her daughters had fine gowns and feather beds, while I wore worn-out rags and slept beside the ashes. They gave me all the chores, and when I came in from the hearth covered in cinders, they laughed and began calling me Cinderella. I worked from dawn till night, scrubbing floors, cooking meals, doing laundry. But never once did I stop believing in kindness. Then one day, something unexpected happened. A royal messenger came to our village and announced that the prince would hold a grand ball to choose his future bride. All the young ladies in the kingdom were invited. My stepsisters were thrilled beyond words. They spent days preparing gowns and curling their hair. I helped them without complaint, though deep down, I wished I could see the palace lights, just once. Of course, my stepmother laughed at the idea. She told me someone like me didn't belong in such a place. That evening, they left me behind, shimmering in silks, and I sat by the fire, my heart aching. Then a warm, magical glow filled the room. A small fairy appeared before me and introduced herself as my fairy godmother. With a flick of her wand, she turned a pumpkin into a golden carriage, and my torn dress into something breathtaking. And then, the glass slippers, the most delicate shoes I had ever seen. She warned me gently. Everything would vanish when the clock struck 11. I nodded and whispered a thank you through tears, then stepped into the night and into my destiny.
I had never seen anyone so graceful and gentle. I walked toward her and gently asked for a dance. All evening, I danced only with her. We laughed, talked, and shared stories as if we had known each other forever. She made me forget the formalities of royalty. I saw only the light in her eyes, but then the distant sound of bells rang through the air. It was 11 o'clock. She looked startled, as if remembering something important. She quickly asked to leave. I tried to stop her, to ask her name, but she turned and ran down the marble stairs. In her rush, one glass slipper slipped off her foot. She didn't stop, just vanished into the night. All that remained was that single delicate shoe. I held it in my hands, determined to find her. The next morning, the entire kingdom buzzed with excitement. Rumors of the mysterious girl who had stolen my heart spread like wildfire. I couldn't sleep. I ordered my men to prepare the royal carriage. I would visit every home in the land until I found her, the one who fit the lost glass slipper. When we arrived at one house, chaos erupted. The stepmother and her daughters pushed forward eagerly, squeezing their feet into the glass slipper, wincing in pain. But it fit no one. I was just about to leave when I heard a soft voice from the back of the house. "May I try, please?" I turned to see a girl step forward, her face smudged with ash, but her eyes were unforgettable. The stepmother tried to stop her, but I signaled my guards to let her through. She sat down and slipped her foot into the slipper, a perfect fit. Then, to everyone's astonishment, she pulled out the other slipper from her apron. At that moment, her fairy godmother appeared in a shimmer of light. With a wave of her wand, Bella transformed back into the glowing figure I had danced with. I recognized her instantly. I knelt before her and took her hand. "Will you be the princess of my heart?" I asked. She nodded, tears of joy glistening in her eyes. And in that moment, all my searching, all the noise of the kingdom, it all faded away. I had found her.
Soon after, a grand wedding was held at the royal palace. The kingdom rejoiced as Bella and the prince were united. Bella, now Princess Bella, looked stunning in a gown made of shimmering silk and silver thread. The guests whispered in awe, remembering the girl once covered in ashes. Her stepmother and stepsisters attended, their faces pale with regret. But Bella, with a heart full of kindness, forgave them. She invited them to stay at the palace, offering them a new chance at a better life. From that day on, Bella ruled beside the prince with wisdom and grace. She helped the poor, protected the weak, and made sure no one was left behind. The fairy godmother watched from afar, proud of the young woman Bella had become. And so, the story of the girl from the ashes became a legend, a tale passed down through generations, reminding everyone that kindness, courage, and patience can lead to, and they all lived happily ever after.